Hello, my name is Sabrina Culp. I recently moved back to Cheyenne, Wyoming from Great Falls, Montana, and Cheyenne, Wyoming is actually the capital of the state. We have some of the biggest events in Wyoming, I would say. One of those includes Cheyenne Frontier Days. It is one of the largest rodeos and fairs in the United States. It is wonderful. There's also concert venues and numerous activities that go along with it. We also have Friday nights at the Plaza. Those are free concert venues. They also include tons of food trucks. We have the Edge Fest, another free concert venue. Art is a huge part of our state now, which I absolutely love. I'm an artist myself, so I love it. We have art festivals, we have art walks, and most of these are down in the historic district of downtown. So a lot happens in the district downtown. I really enjoy downtown and most of the events that go along there. Another huge part that we have more recently, I would say, probably within the past 5 years or so, are breweries. Breweries have become a huge part of our city, and they also host a great deal of events. Currently, I am a nanny, but it hasn't always been that way. Formerly, I was a behavioral therapist for kiddos with autism spectrum disorder, and I was also a former elementary teacher. I left teaching during COVID. I just felt that the behavioral issues were getting out of hand and I couldn't handle it, and I felt like our district was kind of crumbling. I worked for both LCSD1 in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and Cascade County in Great Falls, Montana. And after a while, I just decided that it probably wasn't the job for me. That was really hard because I put all of my eggs in one basket, which was teaching. I was very passionate about it. I went to college. When I got out, I immediately went into teaching. And then it was sad, to say the least, that, I found myself not liking my career as much as I had wanted to at the beginning. So now I'm kind of in a transitioning phase of my life. I am a private nanny. I absolutely love it. But like I said, it is kind of a transition. So I am looking for a new career where I can, put all of my passion and all my determination, all my drive, because I did have that with teaching, and I'm a very determined individual, and I'm just looking for something where I can put all of that passion back into. So I think that Mountain Berry Bowl could be that for me. I know that I am also a woman who's up for a challenge, and I love having several things to do. And I know when owning a business, you have so many different things to do. And as I said, I love a challenge. I love learning new things. So I'm pretty excited about that and stoked. Yep. So when I moved to Great Falls, it was actually the first year that Mountain Berry Bowl came to town. And I went to Mountain Berry Bowl, I would say at least once or twice a week. When they first came to town, I definitely saw them at farmers market, and I would definitely get them there. First of all, I found that the staff was always very kind. They were never rude, never trite or, fast-paced with me. They're very kind. And then they got things done in a timely and effective manner. So it was just like a really well-run engine, and I really appreciated that about it. Next, and I think most importantly, perhaps, is that the taste and the look of the Mountain Berry Bowl was always on par. Like the aesthetics, they were top notch. Always. Never fail. And I always posted them online. I love how they look. I love how they taste. So fabulous. And then lastly, I would say, they had superfoods that you couldn't find very easily in Montana, or at least not in Great Falls. Like hemp seeds and cacao nibs are harder to come by in Montana, so I was very excited to see them in my Mountain Berry Bowl. I mean, beyond stoked. So I am a pretty big part of my community in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I was prior to moving to Montana as well. I've always been a huge part of the art scene. As I had said recently, I am an artist myself. So I've had my art around town in numerous aspects. I'm friends with a lot of the art teachers and teachers, as you can imagine. So I'm I'm putting my foot back into that side of things in town right now. I am also a huge part of the breweries. Like I said before, I live a pretty outdoorsy life, so when we're all done with our hike or our fishing trip or whatever it be, we head back to the breweries to have nice cold beer, and that's just fun with my friends. I know all of the brewery owners and am in great relationship with all of them. And we are currently bringing, I believe, 2 more breweries to town as we speak. So that's really exciting. It's just been a huge part of our community. Also, while I was gone in Montana, we got a new distillery called the Rail Spur. So I'm beyond stoked to talk to them, to get to know them, and we're just kind of modernizing in Cheyenne. It's really fantastic to see. I also go to all of our concert venues. I'm an amnivore, I would say, but I love going to concerts. I love being outdoors. I love doing those things. So I've gone to all types of genres, been doing all types of things like that, and then I am having so much fun. We also had Cheyenne Frontier Days a few weeks ago. Definitely went and enjoyed that as well. So there we are. And then my fiance, not myself, but my fiance, he works for Blue Federal Credit Union, which is actually an international credit union used for our Air Force Base, really, but all of us in Wyoming. And they just opened their headquarters in Cheyenne. They are working toward a more healthy and fit kind of aspect for the civilians of Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I really appreciate that. So right next door, they have a boxing area that they just opened. They have a gym that they just opened there and Clean Eats. They have food trucks there on a daily basis, and I already got the coordination information for the food coordinator there at Blue headquarters. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I think that that'd be a great place to take the food truck as well. So there we are. Then when it comes to financing, I am planning on getting a business loan for mine. I'm currently doing some investigation on the best interest rates and what's going to work for my financial situation the best. Of course, I'm not sure of starting up costs just yet, but in the case that it is more than I had expected, I'd already talked to my uncle and grandfather who are both in business, and they are aware of the situation, and I will be getting their help in the case that it's way more than, I had expected, and it's way out of my range. So I'm set on the financial aspect. I'm just trying to figure out what financial institution I would like to go with moving forward. Lastly, and most importantly, I have a lot of places that I would like to see mountain berry bowls. So in Cheyenne alone, as I said, we have tons of music venues, and at those music venues, you see a lineup of food trucks. I would love to see MBB at the art festivals, the art walks. I'd love to see it at the Edge Fest. That's a concert. Friday nights at the Plaza, another great place. Cheyenne Frontier Days, for sure. We will make a great deal of income through that. I know it. I would love to see it at the breweries if I could. Events around town. Definitely downtown area because there's a lot going on there. Some of the parks have events. Since I am such an involved part of all of the events, I'd love to see Mountain Berry Bowl there. And since I have a lot of relationships with people around town, I think that I have a capacity to do it. And on days where we're, at a lull, I can also contact the coordinator at Blue Federal Credit Union, the headquarters, because they have that whole roundabout where food trucks go. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I have a pretty thorough thought of where I would like to see the food truck in the future. So here's to hoping that works out. Pretty excited about it. Next, and most important, is questions that I have for you guys. I imagine these will all be answered along the way, but I want to know where we get our, product from, because from what I've seen, hemp seeds are harder to come by, as well as chia seeds and cocoa nibs and all of that stuff. So I'm wondering if you guys have a producer for that. I'm also wondering if we have training along the way. Will I be coming to Montana to come train with you guys? I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I'm open to the challenge. Very excited. Next, what are our starting up costs going to be? I just want to know so I can get, ahead of the game and get the ball rolling. That'd be awesome. And I want to know how long the process takes. Hopefully, I wrote you guys soon enough. I know it's July now. I don't want to open until 2024 in like May or April, but hopefully that gave us enough time. I just want to make sure, because I am new to this, I understand that this is going to be challenging and I'll be learning a lot, but I am very, very much up to the challenge, and I just want to learn from other franchisees how it's gone and, you know, how we can walk me through the process, I suppose. And I think that is all of the questions that I have for you currently, but I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for having me, and have a great day.